The old man blurred his eyes. Tells with great aftertaste his physiological reaction when he first met Princess Huiao. It felt like the dried up spring water woke up again. He is so old that he can't forget it for a long time now. The 5 princes on the side were fascinated, knowing that Princess Huiao is a fairy born from bamboo. The more horny they are, the more hungry they are. I immediately rushed to the door to get married, after a mad dog scramble for food. Finally, they sat down at the princess's table. Then began the courtship in sequence. The first appearance is that the car is the prince. She said that as long as the princess was willing to marry herself, then she will regard the princess as precious as a jade branch in Paglai. The second one is 10 princes. She said that if the princess would marry him, then he will see him a stone bowl in front of the Buddha, bow down and worship in the morning and evening. The third appearance is the minister. He will compare the princess to a fireball. Even if it is thrown into the fire, it will not be burned. The fourth appearance is Lord Nyan. He praised Huiao as the pearl of the dragon's head. It is a rare treasure jade that shines with 5 colors. The 5th senior high school adult who appeared on the stage described the princess as an amulet of security. Paul is a priceless treasure that should be held in the palm of your hand. You have to listen to it in the account. Unwilling to get married, he is in a dilemma. Hear the word priceless. His mind suddenly developed a coping method, since everyone values themselves so much. Then please bring the treasures mentioned in your mouth. The teacher and his father were shot off their chins. Obviously Huiao is trying to make things difficult. Fortunately, these princes and nobles were not angry because of this. Instead, I became more eager to fight for it. When he left, he said with confidence that they would find it, without harassment. Huiao can finally be himself now, while the cherry blossoms are in full bloom. He excitedly took the maid to enjoy the flowers, sit in a sedan chair. Passing the market, he met his former little brother in the country. After they looked at each other, just wanted to speak. Then suddenly a strong man rushed out. He pressed the shot to the ground, shouting at the thieves meeting. I didn't have to get out of the car. He is not afraid of ruining his reputation, but knowing that they can't go back to the past now. 3 days later, the princes and nobles who had failed in courtship came to the door again. The first car is the prince. He brought Paglai jade branches as promised. Shine with the sunlight refracted by the mirror. It's really dazzling. Shining, but I haven't seen enough. 2 workers broke in, shouting for the car owners to pay for their handiwork. Paglai jade branch, which looks like glorious glass, turned out to be a fake. The second right minister was a fireball bought from the Tang dynasty. Tell him to throw it in the fire immediately after the meeting to check that it is his own mouth. Seriously, the fireball is not afraid of being burned. Minister Right can only do it obediently. And this fireball says that Sky Shatter is a gorgeous dress. How is it possible not to burn back? The third adult, Nyan, is more sincere. He really told John Young to set sail for the sea to look for the dragon-headed spider. As a result, the sea didn't give him face. The stormy waves almost killed him. The fourth 10-seat prince is a pick-up hot chicks maniac. He didn't find stone bowl in front of Tianshu Buddha, but hollowed out the stone. I planted a milk vetch in it, pretending to be melancholy. 10 clouds looking at the horizon talk to themselves. Actually, he knows. What the princess wants is not a rare treasure, but a heart that loves her. Although this milk vetch can be seen everywhere, but behind it is a symbol of freedom. In the future, I will marry Huiao. He will lead her to an unknown place. Stay away from the noise, away from the world, only with the blue sky. Grass depends on each other. What a beautiful scenery. Hearing the brilliance, I couldn't help but burst into tears. But the next second, his mother's outstretched hand directly interrupted his fantasy. With decades of love experience, the only thing that can say such a thing is pestering him, so my mother pretended to be Hui and wanted to hold milk vetch. Directly beat the 10 princes who were sweet words back to their original shape. The last one is a senior middle school adult. He is a little lover. I really love the brilliance. No fraud. Not pompous. Personally, the gentleman wants to get Paul the swallow for him, but luck didn't care for him. In the process of picking, he fell directly from a height to the ground and died. After knowing this, fell into deep remorse. He didn't want to hurt anyone, but now someone is dying because of him. Remorse and guilt made him throw himself into his mother's arms and cry. At the same time, the young Jade Emperor also learned about it. Faced with the absurd behavior of his courtiers, not only did he not feel ashamed, on the contrary, I also became interested in Huiao.